Hello there and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we will be covering how you can implement endless terrain generation in jumping games, where the character has to just stand still and jump or slide or whatever to avoid some obstacles that comes along. Like Subway Surfers, except it's in 2D, but you get the concept. Okay, so I got a request from a user who wrote to me through Facebook and said, "How did you make that endless terrain generation that you have in Bumble Jump?" So I thought Bumble Jump was a good example to show you what we're going to make. You see the terrains that are coming along here. You jump with the character, and there just comes more and more terrain in here that are randomly generated. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make this terrain generator in a more simple way with boxes, because it's easier in the tutorial. So let's go ahead and do that. I have already created a new project here. And the first thing we need is to make a box, and I'll just quickly draw a box. Let's say 2020. Draw a box. That shouldn't be too hard. There we go. Alright. So how this works. Let's also just draw a player, sprite player. 2020. Let's make him blue. Yep. Okay. Believe it or not, but the player actually stands still the whole time while doing this. It's actually the terrain that moves in Bumble Jump. And it's also what you do in Jumble games normally. You create things outside the view. Let's see here, let's just 300, 200 something. So you create things here that the player can't see, that starts moving along here. And when it gets to this point, where the player can't see it anymore, you destroy it to save memory. Or you can teleport it back. But in this case we're going to create some blocks here that moves along. And when it passes we need to destroy it, okay? So we do that through a script, because a platform of blocks has a width and a height a width of and height in blocks. So we need to make a script called generate terrain, and that works the way we say generate terrain with height. And what this does is it creates, let me just create object box here, which is just a box. It creates some boxes. Let's just specify x and y too. X, y. Okay, so we need to create some boxes. First we need to figure out what is the width and the height of the box. So we'll actually put in here, right, what is this terrain made of? So we'll say variable width equals sprite get width argument 0, because the argument 0 is a sprite. The first argument number 0. Alright, we do the same thing with the height. Var height equals sprite get height. Yes. Alright, so now we need to create the boxes starting in the position there. So we say var x, a big X equals argument 1, var y equals argument 2. Alright, and the width and the height var boxes width equals argument 3, var boxes right equals argument 4. So we're going to create this using a for loop. We're going to say for var I equals 0, I is smaller than boxes width I plus plus. And the same thing, we're going to create two for loops, one with j equals 0, j smaller than boxes height, j plus plus. Because then we have two things. We have I that determines width of the box that we're creating, and j that determines the height of the box that we're creating. So in here we say instance create and that's the big X plus I times width and Y plus J times height. We need to create object box. Okay, so here the start position X needs to be added with the position of the box. This is the width of the box, no, the height of the box, and this is the level in the height we're creating them. So if you don't understand this, let me just draw it. So we have some boxes here. Let's say we have 9 boxes. So with this will be 1, 1. This will be 1, no, 2, 1. This will be 3, 1. This will be 1, 1, 2, 1. No, 1, 1. No, what the fuck? 1, 2. 1. This will be 2, 2. This will be 3, 2. Yeah, and so on. Alright, so this one right here, that is I, and this one right here, that is J. So I and J is basically just an index for where we are going to put the box. So if we're going to put it in 2, 2, we know that the box width is 20. So we say X, the X start position, plus 20 times 2 if we want to place it in 2, 2 along the X, X 2, 2, therefore equals that. And the same thing here in Y 2, 2, that must be Y plus 20 times 2. Alright, so that was what we're going to do here, what we do here, okay? So we create the box. The box is created. Let's say here we create a new object called object terrain generator with no sprite, and in the beginning it just creates some boxes. Generate terrain. What do we need to specify here? The sprite, we just say sprite box, where room width, the Y, we need to say 5. No, not 5, let's say something like 120. The width in boxes, let's say choose between 4, 5, and 6, and the height needs to choose between 4 and 5. Do we need more arguments here, or just needs to close this one? Okay, so that's what we do to generate terrain. We just need to make the box move. We do that in a step event here. We say x minus equals something like 4, and then you see when you put the terrain generator in here, it will create some boxes. What's wrong here? Boxes height. Oh, it doesn't know boxes height. Boxes. Oh, we named it boxes right. Boxes height. There we go. And you see the boxes moves along here. Let's just make an alarm instead, so we can see that it generates it randomly. So we say alarm 0 equals something like room speed times 3. So every third second we will generate a new field. So say alarm 0, generate that, and set the alarm 0 to room speed times 3. Also to save resources, we say that when x is smaller, if x is smaller than 0, then instance destroy. If x smaller than minus 20, just so we don't see destroy. Okay. Why? Oh, there you go. Comes along, has a width of 5, height of 4, is a bit wider, it's a bit smaller. So you see, that's how it works. The player stands still, jumps from platform to platform, and then you can make it generate some trees on here. It should be fairly easy when you know how to do this. Okay? So I don't hope this got too confusing, because it can be a bit tough explaining this even though it's not that complicated. But thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button or visit my website. There's a lot of good content on my website too. So thank you for watching. See you later.